Hello students, with this video I am going to explain about the basic concepts of HDFS. First let us see what is HDFS. HDFS stands for Hadoop Distributed File System. It is a file system of Hadoop framework. That is, Hadoop framework is having two parts, that is HDFS and MapReduce. HDFS takes care of storing and managing the data in Hadoop cluster, and MapReduce part process the data which is present within HDFS. So generally I can say Hadoop framework is used to store and process large data sets parallelly in a distributed fashion. So here HDFS particularly store and manage the data. MapReduce part is used for processing the data stored in HDFS. So HDFS was designed to store, manage huge amount of data in an efficient way. Actually, this HDFS was developed by Google, hence it is also called as Google File System, in short GFS. So here HDFS is called in the name Hadoop Distributed File System. The term distributed is mainly comes with this concept what I am going to explain here. Suppose I want to store a file, a text file of size 400 MB. So in the last lecture video, I already explained about the file system. That is, file system is a concept of storing files in the computer storage uh, with the help of directory. So directory will maintain the information like the file name and the date of creation, what is the last editing, last modified time, then block number where the file is present. There I considered one computer and different files stored in one computer. Here Hadoop HDFS is used whenever multiple computers or servers are connected together. So, HDFS is mainly used for large amount of data, that is more than gigabytes or terabytes of information. So, in such case, multiple computers are used, and assume that this is my file, what I want to store. Here, according to HDFS concept, this file of 400 MB is divided into different blocks. In HDFS, each block size is maximum set to 128 MB. So this text file of 400 MB is divided into 4 blocks in such a way that I said HDFS is having maximum block size of 128 MB. So block 1 128, block 2 128, block 3 128. So totally it become 384. Yeah, 384 MB. Remaining 16 MB is stored as another block. Here block 1 will be stored in one computer, block 2 is stored in another computer, block 3 in another computer, and block 4 in separate computers. Here I considered 6 computers, but my file is divided into 4 different blocks. So HDFS is making use of only 4 computers to store my information. Here my information is a text file of 400 MB. Here you can see my single file is divided into different blocks and stored in different systems, or I can say it is distributed among 4 systems out of 6 computers. So this concept is called as distributed file system concept. Here, next point here is HDFS is a user space file system. It means if we take a traditional file system concept, whatever I explained in the last video, which is present in almost all operating system, which is supported by all operating system in common PC. So file systems are file systems are embedded with operating system kernel and runs as operating system process. This is the case whenever I consider traditional file system. Clear? So in traditional file system, this file system software is embedded with the operating system kernel and which is run as a part of operating system. But HDFS is not embedded with operating system kernel. Suppose I want to handle with a large amount of data, or I want to store huge amount of data in some system or servers. In such case, I can make use of this HDFS by installing the software. So this HDFS, it runs as user process within the user space. Clear? This is first difference between the traditional file system and HDFS. Clear? Second difference is in traditional file system, each block size varies from 4 to 8 kilobytes. But in HDFS, this block size by default fixed to 128 MB. That is, it varies from 0 bytes to 120 megabytes, maximum 120 megabytes. Next, we'll see about the advantages and disadvantages of HDFS. The first advantage is HDFS can be implemented on a commodity hardware, so it is very cheaper and easy to adopt. Second point is which is designed for large files. Here HDFS is used only for large files which is of size gigabytes or terabytes in size. Third point, it is suitable for streaming data access. It means a file which can be written only once but can be referred or read multiple times. I can consider log files as an example. Log file is a file that contains a list of events which have been logged by a computer. Log files are often generated during software installation and are created by web servers, but they can be used for many other purposes. For example, web servers use log files to record data about website visitors. Yeah, so these log files are written only once but referred for different purposes. Only such applications can make use of HDFS. Another example I consider, if I take a corona updation in regular website like covid19india.org, here the data need to be uploaded every time or every a few hours. So this file cannot be processed with the help of HDFS. In the sense here, the editing needs to be taken place for every hour. So HDFS cannot be used for such purposes. This HDFS is suitable only for streaming data. That is, the file can be written only once but can be referred multiple times. The fourth advantage is upon detection of faults, HDFS performs automatic recovery of file system. This concept I'll explain in the next video lecture. This topic tells you about the replication concept. We'll get into this topic in the next video. Now I'll move on to the next topic, disadvantages of HDFS. Here the first thing is HDFS is not suitable for files of small size. Of course, we can go for a traditional file system. Second point is it is not suitable for reading data from random position within the file. Best suited for reading data either from the beginning or from the end. It means that If this is a file, here with the help of HDFS, the information or data can be read either from the beginning or from the end. The data cannot be read from the random position. It cannot be fetched from the random position. Either it can be read from the beginning or from the end. Then the third disadvantage is it does not support writing of data multiple times. As I said in the advantage part, data can be written only once. So in the next lecture video, we'll discuss about HDFS design features. Take care, students. Thank you. Bye.